through is fair to all concerned, will build goodwill and better friendships, will be beneficial to all concerned.
Field hockey coach at Penn State. Coach is entering her 30th season as head coach. Her record at Penn State is a remarkable 463 wins, 183 losses, 6 ties, 763 winning percentage. She just earned her 500th career win over the Terps of Maryland. It was named Big Ten Coach of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Coach.
Not to worry, I talk pretty fast. I grew up in Philly, 1 of 7, so I'm used to getting a lot of words in a short amount of time, but it's really my honor to be here tonight, or today, this afternoon. I love this area. My brother is here, Donald. He's one of the 5 brothers that I had to tolerate during my youth. He's taught me a lot of patience, a lot about athleticism, and some great values. And what I love about this area here is the values that you have here in Lancaster County. It's my go-to recruiting place. I know that when I'm recruiting kids from Lancaster area, they have strong values, strong homes, just great support from their families. They've got an amazing work ethic. I've never, ever had a question of work ethic of the kids that I coach out of this area. When I come down to see them play, you can see it. I mean, there are a lot of state championships right here, Lower Dauphin, Hershey. We've had Hempfield kids. We have just a ton. Right now, I think I have 5 on my team, or 9 of my 27 players are from this area. So again, it's my pleasure to be here. And I went to school with Ralph Sampson. He's here, another Penn Stater. So bringing the Penn State attitude back here again is something that I take a lot of pride in. I'll tell you a little bit about my journey to get to be at Penn State for 30 years. Not quite as long as Joe. I don't know that I could last as long as Joe. I think he put 60 years in, but he was a big mentor to me, and one of the reasons that I always went back to Penn State to coach. So I really have to give a lot of credit to Joe for the integrity that he had at Penn State, and again, the values that he really instilled in all the students at Penn State. I think people overlook the fact that he impacted so many students at Penn State, not just the student athletes or football players that he coached. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pass around my Olympic medal from 1984. I don't know if many of you have ever had a chance to see an Olympic medal up close, but I just thought sometimes it's a pretty neat thing to see, something that I'm very, very proud of. I'll tell you about my Olympic story in a little bit. But this was from 1984. It's bronze medal. I was on the Olympic team in 1980, which was boycotted. And the thing that I like about telling you that simple little fact is that you were here in 1980. When I talked to these little youth groups, and I'm like, yeah, 1980, you guys remember the boycott? They weren't even born. Most of them weren't even born in 1984. So I just wanted to give you the opportunity to see what an Olympic medal looks like. It's bronze, I'll tell you that, but it is gold to me. It's gold to me. So I grew up in Delaware County, a little town, Alden, outside of Philadelphia. And like I said, 1 of 7. I was the 6th of 7. 5 brothers. My father worked at the refinery at Arco, downtown in South Philly. And growing up was just an amazing experience that I had. My best friends really were my family. I learned to compete at an early age because we were always outside playing street hockey or playing kick the can. The games that we played, we sort of had to make them up as we went along. And that's something that makes me sad for this generation. It really makes me sad for my players because we're losing a lot of leadership from this generation. Because when we played in the street, somebody had to pick teams. And somebody had to win and lose. Not everybody got, a ribbon. Not everybody was a winner. And I think this generation really, if they could really go back and see how we created our network. Our networks really weren't created by the internet. They were created by the communication that we had with our neighbors. It was created with the communication that we had with the kids we went to high school with and the people that we went to college with. They're always amazed that I went to Penn State and didn't have a phone. Like, well, we found out where the parties were. That wasn't a problem. We knew. We found out on Wednesday where people were going to congregate for the weekend. But I really think that's sort of a little bit of a lost art, communicating. And I really am fortunate that I was able to grow up in a very community-filled neighborhood. We all went to the swim club in the summer. We played softball on the local teams. And my high school, Lancaster High School, very, very small, 7 through 12 in one building. So when I was going through high school, I played 3 sports, field hockey, basketball, and lacrosse. And I remember when I played field hockey and started playing field hockey in junior high, I didn't even really know what the sport was. It wasn't a sport that you really saw. You know, it really was like the basketballs, the softballs, the soccer was even big for women back then. And I remember bringing my field hockey stick home. I was so excited in junior high. I ran home and I showed my dad the field hockey stick, and he's like, "Well, how do you play?" And I just remember going, "I don't really know. I don't really know if we're going to play," because we played everything. You know, if my brothers were playing street hockey or ice hockey, I played. If we were playing pickup basketball, I played. So I was very, very fortunate, again, that I had the exposure to compete in so many sports, really just through my brothers. So when I went to Lancaster High School and played 3 sports, I was very fortunate that I had 3 outstanding coaches there. They really mentored me to be a student athlete. When the opportunity came for me to consider colleges, it was something I was a little unsure if that was going to be my future, because no one in my family had ever gone on to a 4-year college. So I wasn't even sure that I was going to go on to college. I worked hard, I got great grades, or I didn't know if my father could afford it. I didn't know if my parents were going to be able to afford college for me. And back then, you know, when I was probably in like junior high, there wasn't that vision, there wasn't that dream that I could say I'm going to get a scholarship, like Mike Capoletti, who lived in the town next over. I couldn't really say that because that opportunity for women really hadn't come into play yet. But fortunately, Penn State in 1975 decided that they were going to offer athletic scholarships for female athletes. And Title IX had kicked in 1972, but it really wasn't something that they were held accountable to. But Penn State was one of the very, very first universities to offer athletic scholarships for women. And they did it because they knew it was the right thing to do. And I'm so, so grateful, because I'm not sure if I would have had the opportunity to go to college had it not been for the scholarship that I received at Penn State. My athletic grant at Penn State was a whopping $3,000. Paid for everything. Tuition, room, and board back in 1975. Wouldn't you like to send your kids to college today with $3,000? I mean, it blows my mind, and I know when I talk to our players today, their out-of-state tuition's up to $50,000. It's crazy that a college education at the same university could cost close to $200,000. So I accepted the scholarship to Penn State, and it was to play field hockey and lacrosse. Back then I had the opportunity to compete in 2 sports. Penn State had trimesters, so I played field hockey in the fall, I got a little bit of a break in the wintertime, and then I played lacrosse in the spring. And again, it was just an experience where you had the support of the people that lived in your dorm or the dorm area. You know, you really weren't in it for anything other than to compete and have fun and really represent Penn State. I think we had about 10 games throughout my career every season. It wasn't the Big Ten Conference. It wasn't the NCAA championships really back then. And so as I started playing field hockey and lacrosse at Penn State, they had these camps for some of the elite players. And I was fortunate enough to be invited to the U.S. tryout camp then in my sophomore year, going into my junior year for field hockey. And it was at Penn State. Penn State had an AstroTurf field. Now you see probably like Lancaster County has beautiful, beautiful grass fields. Well, I'm sure now they're dotted with some field turf fields, right? Every high school feels like they need to have a field turf. Well, Penn State at the time, once again, we were very fortunate that we had an AstroTurf field, which is what we play on for field hockey. The ball's smooth, it just glides along the turf. So we had this training camp at Penn State, and I was fortunate enough, again, to be named one of 16 players to go to England to play against the English national team. So I'd never been abroad. I had to get a passport. My mom and my aunt decided they were going to come with me, or they were going to meet me over in England as we were playing. We had the opportunity to play in Wembley Stadium. How many know Wembley Stadium? You know Wembley Stadium? Wembley Stadium seated 100,000 people. So here I was, a 19-year-old, wearing the red, white, and blue for the US team, walking into Wembley Stadium with 100,000 schoolgirls cheering for England. Although there was my mom and my aunt and a few other parents cheering for us. And it was, you felt like you were a rock star, you know, walking in there, and they of course know the game of field hockey. And our team, at that point, you know, I couldn't really dream about going to the Olympics because field hockey wasn't an Olympic sport back then. This was like 1970, 78. But this was probably as good as it gets to go play overseas and to play against a team like England that was one of the best field hockey teams in the world. So as we go over to play England, we're ranked about 11th in the world. They're ranked, I think, 2 or 3. And we're winning 2-0. We're winning 2-0 going into halftime. So we're ecstatic. And Julie Staver, who's a Lancaster County girl, passed me the ball right in front of the goal. I was just about to shoot and score, but it went off the defender for England and went in the cage. So I got the credit for the goal. So up on the big screen is my name, Morett. Well, here, as the game went on, England tied us, and the game ended in tied 2-2. So we weren't happy because we blew it to a lead. We're very, very much competitors. But my mom, as proud as she was, like, well, it doesn't matter that you tied. You scored that goal. I go, Mom, I didn't score that goal. She goes, I saw it. I go, I was closer to play than you were. You're like way up in like the, you know, ozone area there. And she goes, well, don't tell anybody. I'm like, really, that's not the way I was raised. I'm going to make sure we give credit where credit's due. And then the next year, the Olympics were scheduled to take place in Moscow. And I don't know if you know, but every time a country hosts an Olympic event, they're allowed to add a sport. So Russia, who didn't have field hockey in their country, decided they were going to add women's field hockey. Men's field hockey has been around forever. It's a fabulous sport that's been played all around the world. And so we were then, wow, this is great. There's a chance that I could be an Olympian. There's a chance that we could go to the Olympics. The problem was we were ranked 11th in the world, and they were only taking 5 teams. So in 1979, we went to the World Cup up in Vancouver, Canada. And we got into the quarterfinals, and we had to win against England. So here we were in a playoff situation going against England, and we beat them in overtime, which moved us from 11th in the world at the World Cup to 3rd in the world. And that solidified our place to go to Moscow. So here we were, this group of players, most of us were from the Pennsylvania area. All of a sudden our dreams came true that we could play in the Olympics. And what a great year it was. Like you all remember like 1980 when the Miracle on Ice happened. You know, the ice hockey, they beat the Russians. I still remember, you know, being at home, Donald and I, my brother, watching it and just seeing Michael Ruzioni score that goal and just how exciting it was, and seeing them up there on the podium and just knowing that in 6 short months, I was going to be representing the U.S. too, and hopefully I would be on that podium. And I stayed at Penn State to train, to take some graduate classes, and we all trained every weekend. We came down to Philadelphia, and as things started going along, all of a sudden it's April, and Russia, our troops had gone into Afghanistan, or Russia had gone into Afghanistan. The Russian troops had gone into Afghanistan, so President Carter, loud and rumbling, said, you know, we probably shouldn't send our Olympic team to Moscow. And the only thing we kept saying is like, no, the government doesn't even pay, they don't support us. So they really shouldn't have that say whether we go or not. Well, unfortunately, at the end of April, President Carter made a decision that no U.S. athletes were going to go to the 1980 Olympics. Obviously, we were devastated. You know, all that hard work that we put into to qualify for the Olympics, our dreams to go, were dashed. And I was very lucky that I was very young, so that I could train another 4 years. And I was very lucky that the Olympics were in LA, our own country, so there's no chance that we were going to boycott our own Olympics. So I thought we had that going for us. So, yeah, I put my career on hold. I was a coach at Old Dominion for a little bit as an assistant coach, and we trained here in Philadelphia. And we got ready, we moved down to LA. And it was just an amazing experience when you walk in and you see like a Mark McGuire played baseball. Michael Jordan lived on our floor. He lived 3 doors down. And back then, in the days when you stayed in the dorm, you shared the phone. Like 3 rooms shared the phone. That phone was ringing constantly by young women wanting to meet Michael Jordan. So a little distracted, but at the same time, Patrick Ewing was there. Rowdy Gaines was a swimmer. Greg Louganis. And again, we were all together. There wasn't an ego amongst any of the U.S. athletes. We were all in the dorms. We were all sleeping on the same, cots beds that everybody else was. So it was a wonderful experience to be out there and to see so many athletes compete. We were at USC, so the Coliseum was right there. So as we entered our Olympic competition in LA, there were 6 teams, and we had a round robin. So you played every team once, and at the end, whoever had the most points, you had 2 points for a win, 1 for a tie, 0 for a loss. Whoever finished 1, 2, 3, they got the gold medal, the silver, and the bronze. Well, we finished our competition against Germany, and we were beating Germany with 1-0 with 5 minutes left in the game. And at that point, we had the silver medal wrapped up. Well, Germany tied us late in the game. So when they tied us, we thought that we were done, that we had no chance of winning a medal. But the next day, Australia had to play Holland, and Holland was undefeated at the time, and Australia was very, very good. So we had to go to the stadium. Our coach had figured out for us that there was going to be a mathematical tie. If Holland beat Australia by 2 goals, there was going to be a mathematical tie. Goals for, goals against was the tiebreaker between Australia and the U.S. So the next day, we went to the stadium to watch Holland play Australia. It was, can you imagine, like the balance of your, medal hopes are in this game that you had no control over. So we're watching the game, and we knew the Dutch were very good. We knew they won the World Cup, that they probably would be the winner that day, but you never know. So 0-0 at halftime. Our goalie and our captain went down behind the stadium to practice penalty strokes, because in the event of a tie, you went to penalty strokes. So Holland went on, and they scored 2 goals in the second half, and they beat Australia. So now we were just consumed with this elation that now we have a chance to really play for this medal, this bronze medal. So our players came out of the stands. Australia was just defeated, and we had to take 10 penalty strokes, 5 strokers against each, like a shootout in hockey pretty much, okay, against their best 5 strokers. So I was the #1 cheerleader. I was not one of the strokers at the time, but I was the #1 cheerleader. But watching our players shoot out against Australia, our strokers, all 5 of them, scored both their strokes. We scored 10 goals to Australia's 4. So that's how we came to win the bronze medal and get on the podium for that Olympics. And sadly, the U.S. Olympic teams have not medaled yet, so we just had a great shot at Rio, hoping that they would come away with a medal. They haven't, but like I said to you very, very early on, when I passed my medal around, you have probably a better sense how much that medal means to me. That it is gold. It's gold to me. So it was easy for me to transition from a player to a coach, because that profession was just starting, to really, come into a career for women. In my first full-time coaching job, I made $12,000. And I really, really thought I was rich. I bought a Honda Prelude. I thought that I was living large at that point. So I coached at Old Dominion. I did a stint. I coached up at Boston College, field hockey and lacrosse. And in 1987, my coach, Jillian Rattray, an Englishwoman, had retired at Penn State. So I applied for the job and was fortunate enough 30 years ago to be a young coach heading into Penn State. And like I said, I've been very blessed that I've had some amazing mentors along the way. Bonnie Groves, our Olympic coach. Joe Paterno was a mentor of mine at Penn State, as was Russ Rose, who was a volleyball coach up there. Field hockey and sports, it's always been my passion. And I've been coaching 30 years. I turned 60 this year. And Ralph, of course, had to ask me, when you're retiring. I don't remember anybody else doing that, but, I don't have a plan to retire. I don't have a date set in mind. because I love what I do. Stuart Smith, who is here today with me, one of my assistants, has been with me 7 years. He's the tech guy. We're going to show you a little clip at the end. But my other assistant is Lisa Verbinchuk-Love. She grew up in this area, went to Penn Manor. Her brothers were Verbinchuk brothers were big wrestlers in this area. She's been with me for 23 years. She played for me. So when I go to work every day, not only do I love what I do, I love who I do it with. I love trying to have my players replicate the same experience that I had at Penn State. It's real important for me that they have balance in their life. Because right now there's so much stress, and I think that's where like they get stressed and then they need medication. It's sad when you see the stress that some of these kids are under. And I want Penn State, I want it to be a balanced, healthy experience for them. Obviously, first is their academics. Our players, their combined GPA last year I think was 3.2. The year before was 3.4. 2 years ago we won the academic award at Penn State for the team that had the highest GPA. It's something that we take a lot of pride in. We bring players into the program that we know can succeed academically. That has to be our first priority. And secondly, when you're competing at this level, you have to have the right attitude and you have to have a work ethic. You've got to be a team player. That's what it's about. When I go out and I watch these kids play, it's not about who's the best player. It's not about who has the most skill. When I watch them play, it's who's the best teammate. Because field hockey is a team sport. It's not individual. It's not tennis. It's not golf. So we really look to bring those players into our program that have those unselfish, attributes. That's what we really look for. And they just do a great job, our players, with getting involved in community service. Obviously, everybody here is aware of Thon, right? Dance marathon that they have up at Penn State that they've raised. Last year they raised over $14 million. They've raised over $100 million to put a whole new wing for children with cancer. And it hits very, very close to home for us because one of our trainers, her daughter contracted leukemia when she was 2. Went into remission, it came back. And now she's been cancer-free for 8 years. So we see little Isabella who plays field hockey. We see her every day, and it reminds us of how hard those cancer kids fight every day for their life. We have a little girl right now. Her name is Michaela Nagel, and it's a program called Team Impact. And Michaela is this big. She's 16 years old, and her idol, her hero, is Michael Jordan of all people, right? But she has neurological cancer where her nerve endings are attacked by cancer, and she goes down to the CHOP down in Penn, and she comes to our games, she's in our locker rooms, and it really puts perspective on your life when it's not just a win or loss in a field hockey game. We always, obviously, we want to win. We've been very successful at Penn State. With the Big Ten tournament this year, we won it. We won at Maryland, won to the NCAAs. But I think at the end of the day, when our players walk off the field and they see little Michaela there, it does really impact them on there's more to life than just their sport. Trying to think what else to say. What I want to do to say and touch on a little bit is just how sports have changed. I was talking to Ralph earlier, we're looking to recruit 9th graders. Some sports, when I talk to our women's soccer and lacrosse programs, they're recruiting 8th graders. To me, it's insane. They just really haven't developed. And I was very fortunate that I was able to play 3 sports in my high school. I was able to play 2 sports in college. And now what's happening, sadly, is they feel like they have to do one sport all year round. And when these recruits ask me, well, should I play lacrosse, or should I play soccer, or should I play, softball? Yes. Do something different. Always think about, taking some time away from your sport, so when you go back, you still have that love for the game. There's so much now with technology. Our players wear heart rate monitors. When they tell me they're working hard, no, you're not. I just look at your heart rate monitor and you get 9%. That does not lie. And now we're adding a new GPS program, Catapult. They'll be putting GPS, on their back so we can tell how many miles they're running during the field. I'm wearing this. It's not even a watch. This thing doesn't even tell the time. You'd think the least it could do is tell the time. But it's called Whoop, and what it does, it tells me how many hours I sleep at night, when I can recover. So there's a push to have your athletes wear these watches, because the big thing with athletes today is sleep. They need sleep. So I feel like I'm shackled to my bedpost every night with this thing on. It's light, but at the same time, I really don't want to know where my players are all the time. I really don't need to know some of this information. I just need to figure that out, right? But I do want to have stewardship just end with a little clip, and then if you have a few questions, are you ready, Stuart? So this is just a little clip. So you see where I've come from.
Slocum nets the ball, but is disallowed.
This is us playing against the machine and chance to see the crowd there.
Catherine Dodd retrieves.
And yes, remember.
English support is down, but not out. Leslie Hurley of Leicestershire, but Charlene Morett of Penn State takes over.
There she is.
Here comes danger for England. Charlene Morett threatens. Goal! America 2-0 up.
That's the way it is.
Home with the home cap.
This is how far the score is. This is our facility at Penn State. So I always say to them if they're far.
Champions, how do you feel about that?
I don't have words for this. I feel great. I feel awesome. I feel terrific. I don't have words for it. I don't know, you tell me.
Those were 5 words, really. You're doing fine.
Okay, what worked? Yeah.
My Dutch player.
Yeah, go on. This was a different team in the second half. You started really coming along with that corner. What did you see on that goal? Why were you able to execute? I've had so many corners. Char gave me so many corners every game. And this time, all I felt was, Aurelia, you just have to put it in the goal, Ball's in the goal. That's what I always say. And the ball's in the goal. And, that's it, yeah.
There you go.
Great feeling. But we weren't done yet. So, I was still a little bit like, we have to go on. So that's what we did. Yeah.
How about getting Charlene Morett-Curtiss her 500th victory as well? Charlene Morett, victory number 500. How proud are you, coach, of you? Are you?
I'm so proud. You know what? I told her Friday when we beat Michigan, I said to her, Char, if we win Sunday, it's your 500th win. You know that? And she said, no, right now. It's the Big Ten champion win. So yeah, I love her. She did great. She helped us. Last year was hard. Was not always fun. But I think that's why we are here now and a big champion.
Outstanding pickup with more punch joining your team this year after the injury. What has she brought to the Penn State Nittany Lions?
Oh, so much. She's such great energy on and off the field. It's such a happy girl always. She's not only good with her stick, but also
let's
her
just
characters.
You really see how far the sports come from playing on grass to the AstroTurf. And we actually water our field. I don't know if you know that, but the watering the field really helps the ball glide, keeps it down so the ball doesn't get up in the air and into somebody's face. So that was us this year winning the Big Ten tournament. So again, thank you very much.